Hi, hello everybody. Another interview with Age with Care, and this time with Marilyn Kay, who is a specialist on essential oils. So it must be very interesting to talk with her. But as always, I start with my first question, Marilyn. So what are your ideas about aging healthily?
Yes, aging healthily, so important, right? As someone who is in my 60s now, that's something that I really pay attention to. In previous years, I did not pay as much attention to it. But I think that for me, I've sort of narrowed it down to four things. And I think that there are four things that are really important to everyone as we get older. We want to stay healthy for as long as we can. And the first one is exercise. So exercise is so important. I mean, we want to keep our heart strong. We want to keep our bones strong, especially for women, right? That's really important. And circulation, we want our circulatory system to stay healthy because that, involves so much of our muscles and our glands. And we just have a sense of well-being when we exercise. And I think for me, what happens to me when I exercise is I sleep well. So I hear from a lot of people, oh my gosh, I don't sleep well at all. And so for me, if I exercise, I really notice a difference in my sleep patterns.
Yeah.
And then the other thing about exercise is there's a sense of community around that. So it doesn't matter if you play tennis. Very popular here in the US right now is pickleball. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but pickleball is it's sort of a mini tennis. The court is smaller, so you're not putting as much stress on the body. It's sort of similar to table tennis, but it's more tennis, real tennis. But anyway,
table then, or on a field?
You play outside, on a field, on a court, yeah. So whether it's tennis or whether it's walking, even just walking, getting that exercise helps with our bones and strength, and so that would be number one for me. You just feel better, right?
Yeah.
Number two would be diet. So I feel as I get older, I don't need to eat as much. I just eat lighter. I feel like I get fuller faster. And then having a diet that is more alkaline than it is acidic. So I've read a lot lately. I have a great book that I have some recipes from, and it's called The pH Miracle. I don't know if you can see this okay.
Yeah, I can. Yes, I can see it.
So it's really wonderful because if we can keep the body in a more alkaline state, like if we can eat more fruits and vegetables and less heavy meats and pastries and things like that, which are very acidic, then we can keep the body in a healthier state and keep us free from what I call dis-ease. It's not really, I don't like to use the word disease, but I do like to use the word dis-ease. And this book has some wonderful recipes in it. So it helps you balance your pH. So pH is really important as you get older, throughout life really, but you want to stay more alkaline than acidic. So that would be number two. Number three, I would say for me, it has been looking at alternatives to drugs and medications. So you are broadcasting from Europe right now, but here in the US, we are inundated with commercials on TV for pharmaceutical drugs. Do you have the same situation there?
It's probably less, but I don't watch TV, so I couldn't.
Okay. Yeah, it just seems like everywhere you go, there's marketing coming at you for these new drugs for this and that, and they make up almost an illness so that there's a drug that can match it.
Yeah.
But what I like to recommend for healthy aging is trying to look for natural remedies first before you go to those prescription drugs, because those prescription drugs all have side effects. So, you take them for 2, 3, 4 years, and then you start to have other symptoms, and you don't really know what that's coming from.
Yeah.
So I like to look for natural remedies, and that's what we're going to talk about today, right?
Exactly.
Exactly. And then the fourth part that I think is really important and critical is your environment. So our environment, the air quality in our home, what is the air quality like? We probably think that it's okay, but studies have shown that the air quality in our homes is dirtier often than the air quality outside. Now that's pretty shocking, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to think about that my home is. However, a lot of people are using cleaning products that are full of chemicals, and they stay in your environment. They stay on the surfaces, they stay in the air, and there's a lack of ventilation, and so they just accumulate in your home. So environmental is really important, I think, in making sure that you open your windows, you get fresh air at least, and having something in your home that's cleaning the air as well.
Yeah.
And then part of that is personal care products. What are you putting onto your skin? What are you using for your cosmetics, your hair care, your skin care? Because anything that goes onto the skin goes into the body within about 20 seconds. Say 26 seconds, sorry. So, yes. So when you look at, a typical, I don't have anything handy right now, but you look at a typical lotion, there's so many chemicals in just lotions and things that you buy at the store that are going into your bloodstream and having long-term effects. We're not talking about 3 to 6 months. We're talking about all of the years that we've been using these products and the accumulation. So, yes, so those are the 4 things, I think.
Yeah. Well, what I think is interesting is that you mentioned 2 things that I haven't heard before, because this is the question I always start with.
Yes.
And, that makes it very interesting. So thank you. That's so nice. I only told the viewers your name because I thought it was best if you introduced yourself. So, Marilyn, who are you? What do you do? What have you done? Can you tell us a bit about it?
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh. Well, I worked in real estate for a long time and was very successful, but then I gradually had a calling. I had a desire. I became passionate about learning about health and wellness. So this was about 6 years ago, and I started looking. I actually was struggling with some digestive problems at the time, and I started looking for ways to not go to the medicine route, not go to a prescription drug. What else could I use to find a solution to my problems? And I actually came across a woman who was using therapeutic grade essential oils. And I did not know at the time that the oils that are medicinal grade, that you can take them internally. And she suggested to me, because I had digestive problems, Marilyn, why don't you use this and this and this and see if it helps you? So I did, and sure enough, it was very helpful to me. I was also struggling with a little bit of sleep disturbance, anxiety, I was at that age, transitioning, perimenopausal, menopausal, that whole thing that women go through.
Yeah, that we all know.
We all know, and lots of little things, that helped me. So when I began using the oils, they actually helped me with just balancing myself and calming down and sleeping better and having better digestive health. So I remember thinking to myself, okay, well, why did I not know about this? And how can I help other people learn about this? So I started learning as much as I could. I spent a lot of time with our research scientists and learned everything I could about the chemistry of the oils. And I was going to show you my chemistry book, but I don't have it handy right now. but learned about the chemistry and why they work the way they do. And gradually decided, okay, well, I need to teach classes about this. I need to teach other women and men what they can do to go to a natural remedy instead of a prescription drug with all of its side effects. And along the way, I transitioned into, what is a toxin-free home? How can you have what I call a healing home that's free of chemicals, free of, cleaning products that are full of laden with toxic chemicals. You can smell it as soon as you open the bottle. So how can I find ways to help people understand what might be the level of toxicity in their home currently, and how can they transition out of that? And essential oils are just a part of that as well. So
yeah. Oh, you're not American by birth, are you?
Correct. Yes.
You live in the UK, so you can compare both continents, I guess. So is it your impression that the regulation, the rules for the stuff that is put into the things you clean with, the things you put on your skin, is it different between the States and Europe?
I have found that it is, and you're very lucky in Europe because you actually have more regulation. And I notice that when I go back, because I'm from Wales and from Swansea, Wales, and I go back to visit my family, and I look at things over there, I look at the regulation there, and you are more protected from some of these chemicals. However, not all, right? So there's definitely a difference. Do you want me to talk a little about the regulation here, or?
Yeah, well, but maybe you can mix it in with another question I have about that, because we've had a conversation before, and what always is my let's call it my biggest question is, what are the wrong products, and how do you recognize them?
Right. Well, there are certain things, let's take even like a lotion, for example, anything that you use on your body. If you look at the ingredients, anything that makes bubbles, well, okay, let me backtrack a sec. Let's do the lotion first. So there is often the second ingredient will be, say you have bought a natural lavender lotion, for example, for skincare. If you look at the ingredients, the second ingredient is often something called propylene glycol. So propylene glycol is something that's used in cement floor cleaners, and it's used in industry, but it also makes the skin feel soft. So it's used in a lot of lotions and shampoos. It's used in a lot of skincare products. I can almost guarantee that if you look at a skincare product or hair care product, it will say propylene glycol as one of those ingredients.
I'm going to look right after the interview, because I buy all my stuff in an ecological store. So I'm very curious whether I don't have a lot. Maybe you have noticed I hardly use, makeup I never use. I only have something which is on the base of chamomile if my skin is itching, but yeah. But I'm going to look what's in it, because this makes it interesting, because you don't know, what can you do? So,
well, there's a whole list of things, right, that have long names, and maybe you Google one or two of them and you go, oh, well, it doesn't sound too bad. And then, but there's another 8 or 10, and then you give up. You go, oh, I'm sure it's fine. But your products, it sounds like your products might be a little cleaner than the products that many of us are using. But I wanted to talk just for a minute about makeup, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Because makeup, think about this, we wear it even though I think as we get older, and I don't wear very much makeup anymore either, but when we're younger, we start wearing makeup at mid-teens. We wear makeup for 40 or 50 years, and makeup is one of the most toxic things that are going into the bloodstream in terms of the chemicals. There are phthalates and talcum powder and parabens and color and all sorts of things that are in makeup, and cheap ingredients as well.
Mm.
So if you think back, 40 years ago, 50 years ago, when you started using makeup, maybe we use it every day. And so it's really been having an impact on what's accumulating in the tissues and in the skin and in the bloodstream. So.
Yeah. But could it be that, because you're talking about 40, 50 years ago, the society was different and the way of producing was different. Was it worse then, or was it, is it accumulating in time, or has it been awful all the time? I have no idea.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think that it's been about the same, but we didn't know. There was not the same awareness of, because we trusted those companies like, I'll just say Revlon, or, most of us are familiar with that. We trusted that we wanted to look beautiful. We were women, right? That was what we did. And I think gradually there's become an awareness of what chemicals are in not just makeup, but in all of our products. So women today are looking for a more natural solution to anything, whether it's cleaning your home or putting makeup on.
Yeah.
And so, we trusted the marketing, right? It was all about the marketing then. But nowadays there are cleaner products and cleaner makeup, and I particularly like one that I'm happy to recommend anytime to your viewers. But I particularly like it because it has none of that, none of that stuff, the chemicals. And one other thing that's really important in all products is nanoparticles. Nanoparticles, an interesting word, right?
Yes. Small.
Tiny nanoparticles are tiny, like almost I think it's 1/100th or 1,000, and I forget, the width of a human hair. So think of a human hair, and like 1,000th the width of that. So think about that in products, and most products have that. Most chemical-laden products have that, and those nanoparticles are also, that's how they get into the bloodstream in the first place. So the products that I work with and that I recommend and I suggest, and everyone's different, but have no nanoparticles. So.
Yeah, but is it a brand? You can tell the name because we are not how do you call that, a public TV station where you can't call the names of the products. But is it a product that is available both in the US and in Europe, or is it only available over there?
Yes, absolutely. Actually, in worldwide, we're in about over 200 countries, and I work with a number of hospitals who use the cleaning supplies, and also the essential oils, which we haven't talked too much about yet. So,
no, we're coming to that. Yeah, but it's so interesting the way you investigate all these things, and that you put science into it as well, because you could also say, well, this is good and nothing more. But I like it that you have your philosophy and what you have investigated. So that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And talking about essential oils, I know you because I did a challenge with you in December about essential oils. That was the first time that I heard about them, even because I've never been much into, let's call it that way, oils in that regard. So that was really interesting. So please tell us a little bit about it.
Yes, I'm really very passionate about essential oils because they help me with some of the imbalances that I was talking about earlier, the digestion, the sleep, hormone balance generally. Gosh, what else? They can help with the respiratory system. They can help with so many body systems, the skeletal system, the immune system, the circulatory system, and hormones, of course. But most people don't really know what an essential oil is. So what they are is they come, first of all, they come from the leaves of a plant. They come from the stem. They can come from the roots of the plant, really any part of the plant, the branches, the flowers, of course. We have jasmine comes from the beautiful flowers.
Mm.
Jasmine essential oil, if you've never smelled that, it's the most intoxicating smell on the planet, I think. But
does it smell the same as the flowers?
It's more concentrated.
Okay.
Yeah, more concentrated because essential oils are, they are concentrated. What they are is they're the immune system of the plant. So they are what helps the plant stay free from disease. Mm. And I love that about them because we can use them in the same way the plant does to keep us free from disease as well. And one way that they do that is because they have a similar chemistry to human blood. They have carbon, oxygen, and hydrogen. So very similar chemistry. So when we use them, whether it's topically, for any kind of discomfort, whether we take them internally, or whether we have them diffusing in our homes in a special diffuser, they are actually getting into the blood and the tissues, and they have a very similar chemistry. So our body accepts them really easily. Mm. And in fact, when you inhale an essential oil, like I have them diffusing in my office right now, but just for example, when you inhale an essential oil and you put a little drop in your hand and you breathe it in, it goes into the body within 26 seconds and is in every cell in the body within about 20 minutes. So that's how easily our body accepts them. Yeah. Pretty cool, right?
It is. It appealed very much to me when I heard about it in December, especially because some products calm you or other products do something different. So that's also very interesting because there are so many different oils, of course. So
yes,
it's great. What I did notice back then was, and that amazed me immensely, was that you said that there are more, for example, lavender oils than there are lavender fields.
Yes. Yes, I know. Hard to wrap your head around that, right? But there's more lavender being sold in the world than there is lavender fields to produce that amount of lavender, right? So I'm glad you brought that up because that speaks to how most essential oils are adulterated. I would have to say that maybe 90% of oils throughout the world that people are using are maybe adulterated. And what they are adulterated with is alcohol or propylene glycol. And that's exactly what we were talking about is in a lot of products, the propylene glycol. But why? Why are they adulterated? Why can't we just have the pure lavender? Because companies want to make a profit and they want to sell more. So by diluting the, say this was lavender oil, it can be 7% lavender and 93% adulterated. Mm-hmm. Which is shocking because you buy a bottle and it says pure organic lavender oil. Is it really pure organic lavender oil? Because it's not disclosed on the label, at least here in the US, speaking from the US point of view. But you don't know what that other 93% is. So
it makes it very difficult to recognize.
Yes, and it can be harmful if you are using lavender. Like lavender is really wonderful for any cuts or burns. I keep it in my kitchen right next when I'm cooking, just in case, I get any kind of a burn.
Okay.
And if you use pure therapeutic grade lavender, then it will actually help that burn to heal faster. If you use a diluted or adulterated lavender, like most of what's out there in stores, then it can actually make that burn worse. So yeah, so you really have to be careful and know where your oils are coming from, and are they really pure?
Yeah.
So that's what I've done most of my research around is, finding the purest oils on the planet. So
The best ones.
yes.
Yes. You have an ebook which is which tells some more about the things we discussed now, and people can download it, can't they?
Yes. Oh, there's the link. Okay. Yes, you can download.
I'm going to put it in the description box as well, together with your other links. But I have downloaded it yesterday, and I can really recommend it. I think it's not a thick ebook. It's only the pages that you need to know for the basic information. I really liked it, so I can recommend it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I try to include some really fun like recipes for diffusing, in your home. And when I say diffusing, I'm not sure if the viewers really know what that is. May I show you my diffuser really quickly?
Of course.
Okay, let me grab it. So this is a cold air diffuser. And what you do is you put a little water in it, about this much, and then you add your essential oils to it, and it diffuses throughout your home. And not only does it smell amazing, but it's cleaning the air in your home, and bringing more oxygen into your environment. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, are there also not some recipes on your page or in a group? I saw some recipes of you.
Yes.
But I don't know where.
Yes, in the book, The Partner with Mother Nature, the ebook that you mentioned, which included some recipes for diffusing, for cooking. You can cook with essential oils as well, as long as they're, the medicinal grade that we're talking about. You can clean with them. So there's lots of recipes and tips, and as well as an explanation of what we've been talking about. What is an oil? Where do they come from? How do we get them? So.
Yeah. And you have more information on your website?
Yes.
And well, you'll probably have the links to your social media as well over there, but I'll put them in the description box anyway, because it's of course more easy if people just have to click the link.
Right.
Then well, they can see all your wonderful knowledge. So Marilyn, the time flew by, which I expected.
Yes, it did.
Because I know you are so passionate about these oils and how you can use them. So I was sure that you could tell an awful lot about them. So thank you so much for your time and for your explanation. And yeah, I hope that that people will download your ebook and have a look at your other information, because it's really worthwhile. So
thank you, Annie. Yes, it's been lovely to develop this relationship with you. And we met online, and yes, and we started talking, and it's amazing how, I'm in Southern California, you're in Spain, and here we are having this amazing friendship.
Yeah,
And, I just
it's
wanted
great, isn't it?
I wanted to say finally, you know, our chemistry is very different, each of us individually. And so if any of your viewers have questions, please reach out to me. We can chat on Zoom, or we can email back and forth, or we can talk on Messenger. I'm readily available to answer specific questions, because everyone has different questions, and, you know, the oils can help you with anything from head to toe. And literally, you can have your own little medicine chest at home, so you don't have to run out and go to the doctor necessarily for something.
Yeah, that's very generous of you. Very good.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, well, last time, thank you very much. And well, see you all a different time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone.